Things going now, folks. Our second comedian is Mr. Dan Houck. Dan works, and here's his gang. Dan works in investor relations at SecureWorks. He's also had rotations in strategic finance and accounts receivable. He participated in the carve-out of SecureWorks from Dell and was part of their effort behind their recent IPO. As one of the tech IPOs, one of the few IPOs out there this year, SecureWorks raised $112 million in April alone. Dan claims to be responsible for $6.84 of that $112 million. And he also says he invented the internet. This is his third time in our show, and he's our only returning comedian tonight. He's a favorite. We love having him back. So let's hear it for him. Give it up for Mr. Dan Hal.
Put your hands together for Tommy. What a great guy. And for our music this afternoon, Johnny and Nathan, please. They make me look like a rock star. So a little bit about me. I'm from a small town in North Carolina called Houck, Verena. If you're not from this table, you might want to know how to write that. That is Houck-Verena. The hyphen is very important. It has kept the peace between the Houckanian and the Verenian people for many a year. And if you're from the South, you'll understand it was about the proper recipe for barbecue sauce. I worked in a fast food restaurant chain in Houck back in high school. And one time a stranger came in through town, and after he gave his order, he asked, how do you guys say the name of this place? I was a little confused. There's a great big sign at the city limits. It's pretty much pronounced as it's spelled. But I answered his question. Hardee's. So I'm also married. My wife, she's here tonight. She's from Chile, that's right. I married a Latina. You know what that means. You know what that means. I'm used to being yelled at in a language I don't understand. We have 2 children. Well, let me put it this way. She has a really bad habit of saying, "Mira, amorcito." His eyes, just like daddy's. "Mira, amorcito," her laugh, just like daddy's. "Mira, amorcito," they fart in their sleep. Just like daddy. I feel like she's trying to convince herself of something. I'm not sure what that would be. But anyway, I have 1 wife, 2 children, and 2 cats. I am the king of my castle. I only get a small corner of my king-size bed, though, very small. Having parenthood is a lot like the worst hangover I have ever had in my entire life. Lots of headaches, lots of no sleep, and people talk just too loud. And I'm not even the one who got drunk. So a room full of accountants here. Has anybody else noticed how there's never an accountant in an apocalyptic movie? Have you ever noticed this? Let me give you an example. In 6 seasons of The Walking Dead, there has been 1 accountant, just 1, and he was taking a very literal head count for a colony of cannibals. Transition from corporations to cannibals, I could see making that jump. So I think anytime there's any sign of the apocalypse, accountants, and actually all of HQ, start to panic. And what is the first sign of the apocalypse? Who remembers this? As it is written, "Behold, a pale horse, and he who sits upon him is internet outage. And Hades follows with him." That's right, internet outage. This happened at work just the other week. Internet went out. And after 15 minutes, the entire HQ had formed off into tribes, and the struggle for resources began. Legal took over the break room. They declared habeas corpus. It sounded legitimate. HR started to make a cannibals candidate list. If you've ever seen that team down the lunch leftovers from meetings, you know eating Kurt in IT is not a stretch. And it is rumored that somebody even used a conference room without making a reservation in Outlook. I have to say that I'm thankful, though. I'm thankful for my addictions. I'm thankful that my addictions are legal. If they ever made coffee illegal, I would lose everything. I'd lose my house, my family, Netflix. I would wander the streets. I would do things for coffee. I will pay $100 for a K-cup. Actually, I might be paying that now. I buy in bulk, it's hard to tell. Actually, my dealer is still Colombian, though. Juan Valdez. I just don't think he's gonna last that long, though. There's something suspicious about a man walking around with his donkey in Lenox Mall. So I just got back from Texas. I was horrified that they have an 80-mile-per-hour speed limit in Texas. I see what you people, good citizens of Atlanta, do with a 55 on the connector. Can you imagine being a cop in Atlanta then? Around here, boy, we follow the laws of physics. .285 has a variable speed limit. You guys go out that far? 285? Have you seen this thing? So you have 65-mile-per-hour speed limits when there's no traffic, and it turns into a 35 when there is traffic. How much did we spend on that system? People drive the speed they drive when there's no traffic, but when I am sitting in parking lot traffic on 285 and I've seen they've lowered the speed limit to 35, I feel like it's my mother-in-law who's never quite satisfied. I lowered my expectations for you, and you can't even go 35, can you? .285 was recently rated the deadliest interstate in America. True story. No wonder Cobb County gave the Braves such a big discount to move next to that death trap. Who needs to go into Six Flags when getting there alive is half the adventure? Next year, X Games, new sport. If you can drive twice around the perimeter with a rebel flag painted on the side of your car, you win. Has anybody noticed that there are just too many drug commercials on TV? Have you seen this? What are their expectations? Let me put it this way. When I take my car to the shop, the mechanic fixes it. When I take a flight on Delta, the pilot flies the plane. But when I go to the doctor, I need to help out. That guy only went to school for 9 years. I have WebMD. And these commercials, they're rebranding everything. Look, they have like a little cartoon character for toenail fungus. It's no longer rheumatoid arthritis, it's RA. It's not hepatitis C, it's Hep C. It's not erectile dysfunction, it's... I can see Bob Dole's been through this room. And the people in these commercials, these beautiful, beautiful retirees going on these great vacations, living in well-lit homes, and they all have very big cameras, huge cameras. And then I realize I don't want the drug. I want the disease. You don't need a 401k. You need pneumococcal pneumonia. That's my time. Dan Houck.